Shalom. First and foremost, gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahawashi by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, salutations to the men that's already pushing this truth. Shalom to the elect. Just finna get into this quick video, alright, on basically what? This article right here. This article right here, from trtworld.com, all right, and you see the title, it says U.S. troops told Iran war is God's plan to trigger Armageddon, watchdog says. All right, and there's multiple here. I'm just reading. It says more than 200 complaints allege military commanders framed U.S. strikes on Iran as part of a biblical prophecy invoking the book of Revelation and describing Trump as divinely anointed according to the Military Religious Freedom Foundation. And yeah, hey, Trump is that cruel Lord, Trump is that cruel Lord that it speaks about in Isaiah 19th chapter. All right. And what he's basically them and him and Israel, all right, they're the Lord is guiding them, to here, let's get this real quick. The Lord is guiding them to make certain moves to stir up conflict, Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So see, Yahawashi Yahawashi, he's controlling, Trump. All right, he's controlling, all right. Yeah, he's controlling Trump, all right, everything that he's doing. All right, because what? Yahawashi Yahawashi, he's gonna make his prophecies happen, all right. And guess what? He's gonna make these world leaders do certain things to where his prophecies do happen, That's why right now it's a lot of conflict. All right, we're literally at a war with Iran right now, and best believe it ain't finna ease up. All right, we're in the times where Yahawashi Yahawashi, he's about to deliver his elect. All right, take this man out of rulership, So again, you got more than 200 complaints alleged military commanders framed more than 200 complaints alleged military commanders framed U.S. strikes on Iran as a part of a biblical prophecy invoking the book of Revelation and describing Trump as divinely anointed according to the Military Religious Freedom Foundation. Excuse me. It says American service members across every branch of the military have been told by commanders that the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran is intended to induce the biblical end times or Armageddon, according to the complaints lodged with the U.S. watchdog. This morning, our commander opened up the combat readiness status briefing by urging us not to be afraid as to what is happening with our combat operation in Iran right now. A non-commissioned officer said in an email complaint lodged with the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, he urged us to tell our troops that this was all part of God's divine plan, and he specifically referenced numerous citations out of the book of Revelation referring to Armageddon and the imminent return of Yahawashi HaMashiach. And hey, that's the Lord's putting the spirit on these people, to know what's going on. People are clearly seeing, hey, the prophets, hey, we've been out here, all right, the apostles, all right, they've been out, 40, 35 plus years, all right, telling that, hey, this is about to happen, So these people know. They know what's about to go on. All right? Certain people know. And they're looking at this shit play out and they're like, oh, shit, Salaki, I had to give me some water. But yeah, all right. And best believe, hey, imagine how disturbing that is to hear. You know, you're in the military and people saying that, hey, you basically, hey, prepare for the return of, you know, the anointed, you know, of Yahawashi. And they're referring to the book of Revelation, you know. And so, hey, people bugged out and, you know, here, let's get this. Revelation 16 and verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walketh naked and they see his shame. All right. And yeah, Yahawashi. All right. This is Yahawashi speaking. All right. Who the world really calls Jesus Christ. All right. This is Yahawashi speaking of what? Telling us to constantly keep watch. All right. Keep watching what's going on. All right. You watching and what? Keeping your garments. All right. Keeping your garments is what? Basically staying in this truth. All right. Having this truth. All right. So we watching and maintaining ourselves in this truth. All right. Walking in righteousness. All right. It says, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. All right. Because, hey, you don't want, especially now, you know, we don't want to slip up, go off, go back into the world. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, come on now. You can't. Like, God damn, we at the end, you know? we at the end. We at the end of the end of the end. You know, we're literally, hey, we're about to come into salvation, all right? We're about to come into a new kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness, you know? So now ain't the time to go back into the world at all, you know? Verse 16, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon, all right? And the Hebrew word is Harmagawan, all right, which goes into meaning mount of troops, all right? And where's that mount of troops going to be, all right? That's going to be over there in the Middle East, all right? Over there in the region of you know, Saudi Arabia, all right, Iran, all right. And guess what? As it says in Joel, the 2nd chapter, in the 20th verse, you know, that the Lord is going to bring the northern army. You know, he's going to bring the northern army over there. What? They're going to get slaughtered, all right? And that northern army is America, all right? So you got a lot of, you know, these people, you know, you got Jake making songs about saying fuck Iran, or, you know, basically mocking what's going on. You know, you had the bitches dancing and shit, you know. Hey, they don't understand that they're about to die. You know, they're about to die. And, it, you know, someone was going to fight, you know, Yahawashi. You know. See, it's about to get terrible out here. All right, and people don't understand. That's why it's so beautiful that we have this truth, because we understand what's about to come, and we understand the seriousness of it. You know, we understand that, hey, these times that we're coming into, it ain't finna be no joke. You know, so if you ain't got this truth, hey, you gonna be through as hell. You know, so it's the water by Shemel Shah. We got this truth. You know, because this is literally at the door. You know, if you're not right with Yahweh Shemel Shah, hey, kudos, nigga, you know? So, let me see. I want to get, let me see something. Joel 3 and verse, 11. I'll start at 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. Excuse me. And gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And the mighty ones is the angels of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Verse 12. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right. And yeah, that's where Yahawashi Shah is going to gather all these armies. All right. World War III. He's going to gather all these armies. All right. And that one little, one little section over there. All right. And it's going to be great judgment over there. All right. So now, let's see something. Let me see. Well, let me see. So this guy's, a so-called Christian, But that's pretty much it. Now we're gonna get into let's get into Revelation 19. Revelations 19 and verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. All right, and you see the heading of it says the coming of Christ, which Christ, the Greek word for Christ is Christos. All right, Christos goes into anointed. All right, so the Messiah. All right, the coming of the Messiah. All right, Yahawashi Mashiach. All right, that's his true name, Yahawashi. All right, which means he is the Savior. All right. So this is how he's coming. All right, he's coming on the chariot. All right, he's coming to judge and make war. All right. So Yahawashi, when he comes back, hey, he ain't coming back on no sweet shit. He's coming back to judge and make war. All right. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. All right. And that name written that no man knew but he himself goes into the rank, the order, the order that he has to play out. All right. Nobody, no angel, nobody else has this what's the right word? Basically, it's only him that's gonna play out this damn, I want to figure out the right word for Salakia. Basically, he's the only one that's gonna do what he's about to do. Come back, all right, deliver the elect, all right, judge these heathen nations, all right, make war with them, take them down, all right. Verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven follow him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. He treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty Yahweh. All right. So see, Yahawashi, he's going to come back, all right, in the midst of World War III, all right, and what? Destroy these niggas, destroy these nations, destroy these heathens, including, our people that's in the military, all right, they're going to be destroyed too, And let's get 2nd Ezra 13 and verse. Oh, no. No, I'll start at 1. 2nd Ezra 13 and 1. This is Ezra's, or Ezra having a vision of basically the second coming of Yahawashi Mashiach. All right, just basically another aspect, of Revelations 19 or Second Ezra 13, or Salakia. Revelation 19 is another aspect of Second Ezra 13. All right, and it's many, it's Isaiah 63. You go into too, it talks about the second coming of Yahushua, But again, Second Ezra 13:1, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. All right, and the thousands of heaven is going into the chariots. All right, his army, Yahushua's army. All right, because Yahushua, he's going to come back with the whole army. All right, of what the world ignorantly calls UFOs. All right, as it says in Zechariah the 5th chapter, I believe, it talks about the curse that goeth forth, over the world. Roughly paraphrasing. Talks about that chariot. All right. Verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filled when it filled the fire. All right. And yeah, it's that the concentrated laser beams that's coming, from the chariot. All right, which the world even calls a UFO. All right. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the men that came out of the sea. All right. So see, Yahushua, he's going to come back. He's going to appear from, another dimension. He's going to come back, from the skies, or he's going to come through in the skies. All right. And while in the midst of World War III, the heathens, all right, they're going to see Yahushua, appear, and they're going to all turn to fight Yahushua, And guess what? Let's keep on reading. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it, that chariot that he's on. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. So see, hey, they're gonna fight, but they're gonna be so fucking afraid. They're gonna be pissing and shitting themselves, all in their their jets, and shit. They're gonna be pissing and shitting, vomiting, all that, just crying, But what? The Lord is gonna make them still fight, just to show his greatness, all right? Just to show he can, how quickly he's going to fuck y'all up, Verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with the violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was so afraid. So see, this is how Yahushua is coming. He's about to get these armies right. He's about to get y'all armies right. It's not even going to be a fight. It's just going to be a one-sided battle. It's not going to be a scratch on Yahushua's chariot. It's not going to be a scratch on the angels. None of that. All right. So that Yahushua's gonna shoot their laser beams at them, and what they're gonna turn into dust, So hey, this is gonna happen. This is about to happen soon, So yeah, that was pretty much it. I just want to hit on that quick video. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone. Peace, salutations to the men as are pushing in truth, and shalom to the elect. Shalom.